Hello, my name's Andrew Jepson. I'm the Stobs Camp project officer, and I'm here today to show you around some of the highlights of our Heritage Trail app. Stobs is an internationally important site. It was an arena for Scotland's preparation for war and the subsequent handling of First World War prisoners. Although its military connections continued up until the early 1960s, the focus of the Stobs Camp project is the period prior to and during the First World War. It aims to better understand Stobs and the role it played, to value, share and commemorate Stobs and the people connected to it, and to protect the camp for future generations. So why here? The War Department chose this site following the Boer War, which saw the loss of over 20,000 British lives. It revealed that the British military were ill-equipped, complacent and inexperienced in trench warfare, and the terrain here was very similar to that in South Africa. So by 1902 the War Department had bought 5.5 square miles of the Stobs estate. The aim was to make a better British soldier, and it cost them £50,000. By late summer 1903, 20,000 soldiers had trained through the camp. Training at the camp continued for the next decade until the outbreak of the First World War, at which point Stobs became a prisoner of war camp and the headquarters of the POW system in Scotland. By November 1914, German civilians were brought to the camp, mainly because they couldn't be trusted, but also for their own safety. And in spring 1915, German military prisoners were brought here as well. It is estimated that there were on average 5,000 German prisoners here at any one time. So let's have a look around. We're now standing underneath the impressive Barnes Viaduct, otherwise known as Stobs Viaduct. It was completed in around 1860 by the North British Railway Company, and it carried the Waverley route between Edinburgh and Carlisle. It was disused in 1969 and is now a Grade B listed building. In June 1903, new sidings were created about a mile north of the site here, and this is where soldiers arriving at the camp would disembark on the train, and then they would walk into the camp, up the road behind me, and also exit from this point. In the ground here are the foundations of the quartermaster's store, and it's in buildings like this and beyond where supplies arriving at the camp were first brought and then distributed around the camp. So this concrete building here is a drying hut. Of course, it never rains in Scotland. There are a number of these huts across the site, and they would have been used for drying horse tack and for soldiers' uniforms. At the end of the day, uniforms would have been stored in here, a fire set at the bottom, and the uniform would come back dry the next day. This building here behind me on the right is a well-preserved store building. It would have been used for distributing supplies around the camp. And the building here behind me on the left is Barnes Farm. It's now derelict, but it would have been used by officers prior to the First World War. This part of the site is the British Guard camp, and all around here would have been huts for the British soldiers. It was the focus of an Archaeology Scotland excavation, and a number of the finds suggested a pre-war date. In the summer of 1916, all the civilians were transferred out of the camp and sent to the Isle of Man. From that point on, The site then became wholly for military prisoners.